Anthropic just released Claude Opus 5, and engineers are more concerned about their usage limit reset. As it turns out, there's not much difference between Opus 5 and Fable 5. As a matter of fact, for most coding tasks, Opus 5 is slightly more capable than Fable 5. You can see on the agentic terminal coding on Frontier Bench, Opus 5 scored 43.3%, whilst Fable 5 scored 33.7%. That is a sizable gap. And then on the agentic coding, Fable 5 scored 69.7% versus Opus 5 68.8%. That is a difference of 0.9. So when Opus 5 takes the lead, it's quite sizable, but when Fable 5 takes the lead, it's not that much. Over here, we can see it's just 0.1%. That is on the Frontier code benchmark. In other sectors too, they are quite close. But compared to Opus 4.8, is a big difference. So especially for developers, there won't be much need for Fable 5. Previously, it used to be that Fable was superior to Opus, which was superior to Sonnet, which was superior to Haiku. But with the release of Opus 5, the gap has really closed between Fable and Opus. I'll argue for coding, Opus is slightly better than Fable at half the cost. Keep in mind, Opus comes at half the cost of Fable with comparable performance. From Anthropic, they claim Opus 5 is highly efficient. Let's see some benchmarks. For computer use, you can see Opus 5 greatly outperformed Fable 5. We won't consider GPT because Anthropic has an incentive to place GPT score lower. So let's consider only the models for Anthropic. Opus 5 supposedly scores higher at less than half the cost of Fable 5. If you are to believe these benchmarks, that is a drastic performance increment for Opus. And this one is the agentic business workflows by effort. For this, Fable 5 is even nowhere near the performance of Opus 5. And Fable 5 is the model they supposedly warned us about that the US government blocked. I mean, these results are just crazy. If you are to believe Anthropic's own benchmarks, then what is the purpose for Fable 5 at this point? The performance to cost ratio is just insane. Agentic coding by effort. So for developers, this is the benchmark we are interested in. Again, crazy results. It tops up at about 45% with 15 USD. Whereas Fable 5's best performance is around 33 and with a cost of about 28 USD. That is a drastic difference. At this point, are we to believe these benchmarks or is just all a hype? This is from the same company that told us Fable was coming to end the world if the US government don't lock it in the box. And considering the GPT hacking of Hugging Face, you can tell these AI companies will do anything for publicity. And apparently it's better aligned than Mythos. These benchmarks are just insane. We will see how it performs in the real world. And we can see people have already made comparisons between the two. This one is between Opus 5 and Opus 4.8. So this is Opus 5 versus Opus 4.8 for the same prompt. I mean, Opus 4.8 was not too bad. I kind of like Fable 5's results a little better, but this one has some shadows to it, some gradients. At this point, it's just about taste. The quality difference is not that great. Let's see what Kimi 3 versus Fable 5 also did. Kimi K3 is on another level. The dragon. At this point, it's not really about the intelligence, but it all comes down to the cost. And considering how close the output are, it's difficult to justify Fable 5's pricing. You are paying about 2 to 3 times for the same thing. And Kimi is even much cheaper than either Opus or Fable. So now the AI scene is crowded with a lot of capable models. Anthropic is no longer enjoying the comfortable lead they enjoyed in the past. And considering how close Opus 5's capability is to Fable 5, I wouldn't be surprised if they just tweaked another Mythos and slapped the Opus model name on it because of Kimi K3. Opus 4.8 just couldn't compete at all with Kimi K3, an open weight model, which is scheduled to be released to the public in just 3 days. Once that is out, no one is going to use Opus 4.8 for that amount when they can get Mythos level thinking from Kimi K3. So Opus 5 might just be Mythos with some Opus lipstick slapped on it. The release of Kimi K3 has done a lot of good for the world. Alright, so let me know what you think in the comments. Catch you later.